All right, and we are live. Hey there, this is Kevin from MaximizingEcommerce.com. I have a question for you. Are you currently working a job and looking to start a side hustle, or do you have a side hustle? Well, if that's the case, then you're in the right place. We are going to talk in this video about how to balance your side hustle with your day job. Because if you have a job, it's important that you keep on top of that job. A job is a great thing. I'm not one of these people that are like, oh yeah, job is just over broke. It's a bad thing. Get rid of your job. I like my job. I have a full-time job. I'm not looking to get rid of it anytime soon. But at the same time too, I love my side hustle. I want to continue doing it for a while. So more than anything, in this video, we're going to talk about balancing it all, because it really can be a balancing act. You know, if you're working 40, 50, 60 plus hours a week, whatever it is for you in your full-time job, and you have that side hustle, that dream, something you're going after, whether it be just to make a few $100 a month extra, or you're looking to replace your full-time income, or, you know, do something even more than that. It's all about balancing it out. So in this video, we're going to talk about balancing it out. So first off, again, I'm pro job. I'm not one of these people that's going to say, get rid of your job, you know, just skate through it so that, you know, you can work on your side hustle when it's over. I'm more of the philosophy of, it doesn't matter what your job is, you can learn from that job. So I remember my first job was at McDonald's when I was, you know, date myself here in the early to mid 90s, you know, 15, 16, 17 years old. I learned about, you know, all kinds of different processes, you know, how to set up a business to run pretty much almost automatically, that everything, you know, has a process that it has to follow, and, you know, dealing with the customers and, you know, customer service, what people are looking for, what is good customer service, what's not so good customer service. Learned a lot, and I've learned everything. I've learned a lot in every job I've had, is really what I'm going at with that. So more than anything, if you have a job, your goal, if you're going to leave that job one day, whether it be to go to another job or to make your side hustle your full-time gig, either way, you want to make sure your goal is that when you leave that job, they say, oh, wow, you're leaving us. That's kind of devastating. We need you. We're counting on you. You're a great member of our team, as opposed to, oh, yeah, that person's leaving. Good. You want to be someone that's an asset, because I'm a firm believer that whatever you are is in one aspect of your life is what you're going to be in everything else. So you want to be an asset at your current job, because again, you're going to develop those skills which you can carry over to your current job. So to your side hustle. So I'm a firm believer that if you have a side hustle that you're looking for and you have a job, you want to be the best you can possibly be at that job, because really, at the end of the day, you almost kind of want to think of it as you're using that job. And I don't mean this in a nefarious, bad way, but you want to look at it as you're going to be in that job, and you're going to do the best that you possibly can. And you're going to use that job to gain skills and knowledge that you can carry over. And I was looking at a forum recently online on a Facebook group, and somebody was talking about, like, what type of job should I get? Because, you know, I'm looking to do Amazon. So, you know, I'm more e-commerce related, but, you know, hopefully if you're watching this video, it doesn't necessarily have to be for e-commerce related. But this person was talking about how they're e-commerce focused, and, you know, what could they do to find a job? It's great to find a job because, you know, if you have a side hustle and you're a small business owner, you're wearing so many different hats. So, you know, learn a lot of things about a couple different hats. So you can do those things in all kinds of different jobs. Like when I worked in a hotel and conventions, I learned a lot about project management, about, you know, dealing with negotiating, and that's helped me with negotiating prices. But, you know, there's people that, you know, have a lot of experience with, like, social media and digital marketing, you know, something I don't have all that much experience with, that I've gained some knowledge, but, you know, there's people that know a lot more about that. So I can learn the skills I don't have from other people. But, you know, point being, in your job, do the best you can, be the best possible employee you can while you're there. Now, the next thing is, when you're at a job, make sure you're clear about your why. So know why you're going to work every day. And then coming home after being busy at work and putting a lot of time and effort into your side job because or your side hustle, because you're going to see a lot of your friends and family members who they're doing other things. So you want to be clear in your mind as to what it is that is driving you to each day do just something small. So each day you're driven towards doing something small towards that goal that you're looking to achieve in your side hustle, and it's going to be very valuable for you for doing so. So the clearer you can be on your why, the better. So, and the why, I think, is kind of more like an ethereal thing, like, a deep down inside, what is that burning passion for you? So for me, if you've heard my story before, I had lost a job a couple years back, actually about 4 years ago. Time's flying when we're having fun here. But for me, it's all about having options and having security. So I look at my side hustle, which you see behind you, of e-commerce, as being a way of give me sort of an insurance policy on my financial future. So, a lot of people look at, having a side hustle as a way to, make additional income to, there's vacations, increase their lifestyle, create more security, grow something big. Great. Whatever it is for you, make sure that you're clear with yourself as to why you're doing it. And then I would also be very clear on what your goals are. So I write down in a journal here, I'm all about, good old pen and paper. So I write down in my journal here pretty much every day what it is I'm working on, and the big picture, not so much the tasks day to day, but I write down the big picture of, what are the things I want to achieve. So like, this year I keep writing down this, I want to accomplish 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 this. So I remind myself and keep it fresh in my mind, because if I write it down, it becomes a lot more real. So that's one thing I've definitely found, is that if you write down your goals, it's going to be a lot more real to you. So then you've got your goals, which are more kind of medium term to, have a long-term vision. But then you also have to have goals of what are the more action-oriented items you want to do. So what I do is I write down at the beginning of the week action-oriented steps. So things that I was working on this week, I'll share with you. Try to keep it, do this action and for this thing. So for example, file Q3 sales tax return with the state of Pennsylvania. So that's, file is a verb, then I've got my action I need to take with that. Respond to French translator, because I'm looking to sell on Amazon France. Actually got my first sale in Amazon France earlier this week, so excited about that. Create UK shipment and send requests to FBA prep work orders out for a shipment I was doing to the UK. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump that there. So it's all about, just try to keep everything, what are small little action items I can do. So, for you, if you got a lot of time and you can devote a lot of tasks to it, great. If you don't have a lot of time, you can only, give 15 minutes, an hour, whatever a day, even if it's just one thing you do every day, if you can be clear on yourself, okay, so today I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do that. And so if you start checking off this list, if you ever read the book, The Compound Effect, it's a great book, and it reminds you that every little step you do will take you closer and closer to that goal it is you're looking to accomplish. So it's all about setting goals. So then, when we're talking about the goals, I was talking again about the long-term things, your more vision that you're writing down every day. You got your, more midterm goals, like maybe it's, you want to have profit of $500 a month in 6 months or something like that. You write those goals down. And then what you're going to do, thanks for the thumbs up there. Then what you're going to do is you are going to think of it as, each week you're planning out your week. So again, you're writing down these little goals. Think of it in this term is, I heard this on, if you've ever heard of a podcast called Fizzle. It's not necessarily e-commerce related, but depending on what your side hustle is, it could be a good podcast to listen to. But they were talking one time about the worker bee versus CEO. So as a small business owner, even if your small business is, very small, but you have intent of growing it, that's fine. But think of it this way. As the CEO, you're deciding what work needs to be done. And then as the worker bee, you're the one physically doing it. So you have to be very clear to future you, which is who you're writing all your tasks down for, what it is you want to do. And the clearer you are, the more likely you're going to be able to accomplish it. In fact, the way I heard it worded, actually from the folks at Fizzle, and this has stuck with me, future you is an idiot. And that's what I have to remind myself, is because, too often we think, oh yeah, I'm going to remember to do this way. I'm going to remember this. And then we get to that time and then, what was I going to do? What am I supposed to do here? So if you can remind yourself exactly what it is you need to do so that you can spend very little time deciphering what it is that you told yourself you needed to do, you're more likely to get that done. So you just keep checking off these little things off your list. All of a sudden, after, a couple weeks or a couple months, now your tasks, you've made all this progress towards your goal. And it's all about the more, steps you take to get towards your goal, the more likely you are to achieve the results that you want to achieve. Then, besides just the planning of the work you have to do, I would surround yourself with like-minded people. So, like for example, right now I work in insurance. I work in health insurance. The thought of what's going on in the health insurance world, I deal with it day in, day out. We also deal with home and auto insurance. So, think about, home and auto too. Not as much as I do health, because my job is more health related, but, I'm surrounded by people thinking about insurance all day long. The average person doesn't think about insurance. They don't think about the concepts related to insurance. It's something that's very foreign. When I worked in hotels or restaurants, theme parks, other jobs I've had in the past, people that had similar type jobs, that was very normal to those people, whatever those types of jobs were. So something becomes normal because the people around you are doing the same thing. So if you've ever heard the quote from Jim Rohn, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, it's 100% true. So if you're constantly around people that are doing something similar to your day job, they're not going to understand the challenges and things like that you're bringing up at your, bringing on your side hustle. So, the more you can find people that do something similar to what it is you want to do or that you're doing, the more real that is going to be to you, and the more likely you are to achieve your goals and have people to bounce ideas off of and things like that. So if you can join a mastermind, great. If you don't know anyone that, like, for example, like if you want to get into e-commerce and you don't know anyone that's in e-commerce, well, there's a lot of great places. So I'm filming this live on Facebook. So, in the comment section, you can potentially meet other people there. Comments on YouTube, you can meet people there. You can go on Facebook groups. For example, Scott Volker, who has the Amazing Seller podcast, I think he's got close to 50,000, if he hasn't reached that number just yet, of people in his Facebook group. It's a very active group. So even if you can't have people that you can meet face to face, at least try to find people that you can interact with online, because you can bounce ideas off with people, maybe email someone, maybe even get to the point where you're reaching out to them and calling them every so often. So find ways to meet people. So maybe there's a meetup in your area and you can find people that either doing the same kind of side hustle, or people that are more entrepreneurially minded than what's at your job, or maybe somebody that that lives in your area that has a similar type side business to what you're doing, and maybe you guys meet for coffee once a month or something like that, just so you can kind of hold each other accountable. Because the more you can find people that know what it is that you're doing, that can empathize with your struggles and your goals, the better results you're going to get. Because sometimes it's good to put a couple heads on a problem as opposed to just keeping it inside. Then you can also hear the challenges someone else has, and it kind of normalizes it for you, and it seems like something more normal to do, as opposed to everyday life gets in the way, and then all of a sudden, no one else does this, so I'm not going to do it. So it becomes more real and tangible when you know someone else that does the same thing. And I would say kind of that next level of finding other people is attending conferences. And I attended Steve Chu's Seller Summit earlier this year. I found it to be hugely beneficial. Just being around that kind of that air of other people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing. And there was people that were of all different levels. People that were just starting out. They weren't sure what they wanted to do in the e-commerce space. So it was just for them as being around other people. There's people like me that do side hustles that, have, decent sales, but, aren't looking to, quit their job at this point in time. And then there was other people that had been doing it for, 10, 15 years, had 7, even 8-figure businesses in some cases. So just, being around people at different levels is beneficial. And I think there's something to be said for if you find people that are doing something similar to you, don't just try to find the person that's, way above you, that, they're going to mentor you. That's great. If you can find that person, great, and they're going to talk to you, that's great. But find people that are on the same level or, around the same level so you can talk about the same challenges. But then also, too, try to find people who aren't quite to where you want to be at this point in time, and then try to help them along. So for me, that's one of the reasons why I'm driven to do these Facebook Lives every week and post these videos on YouTube, depending on whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, so that I can, help other people with the things I've learned. And then, hopefully at the same time too, people can point out some tips and it can help me. Because it's all about, if you share information with other people, you're going to benefit yourself. Now you may be saying, finding people that are not as far along as me, I don't know, because I'm just starting out. Well, let's say you've made a couple sales doing retail arbitrage. If you're in the e-commerce space, you buy a couple things at a store, ship them to Amazon or sell them on eBay, and you make a little bit of a profit. And then now you're looking to maybe brand your own product. So if that's the case, then what you could do is maybe there's someone who's just thinking about getting started. They're not sure where to begin. You could start pointing them, okay, maybe do some research on this. Here's how you would set up a seller account on Amazon and eBay. Here's little things you can do to research what to sell, whether it be, a branded product that they bought at a big box store or looking to get their own product or something like that. You'd be amazed that if you spend 2 hours of work studying, either watching videos or reading blog posts or something like that, you're way ahead of a lot of other people that would consider doing something like this. So don't underestimate what you know and what you can already contribute to other people. So it's all about, again, finding like-minded people who are either at your level, above your level, or looking to be where you are. And again, you're going to be amazed at how many people want to be at the level that you're at right now. Doesn't matter where you are in the process. And then bottom line, don't be too hard on yourself. We live in a culture, especially here in the US, of go, 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 hustle, 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 that, sometimes it's like these polar opposites of either binge watching Netflix, 8 different shows from start to finish, and which is really becomes like a full-time job for a month, watching all these shows, to just work. Find the happy medium. Still have other interests, still have things you do. If you have a family, don't forget about them. They're important too. At the end of the day, if you're doing a side hustle, again, it's a long road to hoe. You think of it in long-term characteristics. You're not doing this for the short term. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So hopefully you found this video to be helpful. If you did, it'd be great if you could click the little thumbs up icon, whether again you're on Facebook or YouTube. I'm sure you know what the thumbs up icon looks like on the platform that you're on. And also feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube if you're not already. And we can let you know when we have more videos like this. So hopefully this has been beneficial for you. So thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video, and have a great night or day.